So I want to give you guys my most controversial RuPaul's Drag Race takes. Don't at me, don't tweet me. These are my opinions. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. And if you would like to support me even more, or the things we're doing here at Purse for Studios, please go over to the YouTube page, Purse for Studios. You can subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you can see some amazing content by queer people that is for queer audiences. This is the GGT. This is for the girls, the gays, and the theys. All right, back to the program. Hello, bobbleheads, and welcome back to my YouTube page. It is me, Bob the Drag Queen. First of all, I want to thank our patrons for making this video possible. If you want to join the Patreon and get early access, extended footage, and unseen lives, then please consider going over to Patreon and typing in Sibling Rivalry Podcast, and you can join the amazing family over there. Let's get into it. I'm going to say right now, RuPaul's Drag Race is my favorite TV show of all time. So when I was on Drag Race, Thorgy famously said that I was annoying, but it was because I was on my favorite show, having the time of my life. I'm not gonna diminish that because Thorgy's irritated. And also, I was crushing the competition. Truly crushing. Granted, my season was really short, but the fact that I ended up winning, I think 3 challenges in like 9 episodes, I was half the wins. Me, and they were splitting them, these hoes. That's not the point. I don't know if we need to include it in there. I think I've big up myself enough on this channel. Okay, here's my hot take. I actually think that Sherry Pie would have either won or at least been a finalist in her season of Drag Race. So the Sherry Pie lore, for those of you who do not know, Sherry Pie was essentially disqualified from her season of RuPaul's Drag Race. A big controversy came out, finding out that she manipulated a man into taking steroids while operating under the name Allison Mossy. She told this guy that her name was Allison Mossy. She was casting for some version of Batman and that she was gonna have him be in this film, but he needed to get buff. And then she was buying him steroids. She was operating under multiple names. Then she went off to film Drag Race. Communication stopped, and then it came back up. It was a whole thing. So for obvious reasons, she was disqualified. That being said, she was a pretty popular fixture in the New York City scene. She actually won a competition that I used to produce in New York City called Look Queen. Aquaria won that one. Dusty Ray Bottoms has won that one before. Alexis Michelle, Sasha Velour. I mean, so many people have come through. Olivia Lux. A lot of like the Drag Race girls you know actually were in some way involved in the Look Queen pageant system. It was a weekly competition that we held in the Monster, which is in the West Village in New York City. And she was pretty popular. She actually won the whole pageant. And she had a lot of creative numbers, but the truth is she I don't know her that well. I do not know her that well, but she has a weird dark energy. And I know I hate her, her energy's off, but her energy was off. There was this big controversy one time where she won Look Queen. And then she was like, that means I get to host Look Queen. And then we were like, no, girl, that's not how that worked. And she goes, well, Dusty Ray Bottoms was hosting Look Queen, or this queen. I'm like, yeah, well, we like her hosting style, and also we think you're creepy, so we don't want you to host, girl. You won because the judges scored you, but something about your energy we just don't love. You know what I mean? But that being said, she did do well. They called her the Meryl Streep of drag on her season. I remember on the first challenge she got called that, and they basically edited her out of the show completely. It was as if she didn't exist in the show, which I don't even know how they did that. And they were apparently doing it in real time, because I think the controversy didn't drop until the promo had aired, and then the controversy dropped, and then she was basically ripped out of the season. I have to go back and watch that season again to see how odd that was, and I wonder what it was like for the girls filming too. That must have been just bizarre, right? Because I believe that finale was Crystal Method, Simone, and Gigi Good. Does that sound right to anyone else? Yeah, because they shot their videos from home. And I remember Crystal Method did I'm Like a Bird. She did I'm Like a Bird, and she vomited in her own mouth. Anyone remember that? That fever dream of a finale performance? That was insane. Drag Race is such an unserious show. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I appreciate heated rivalry, but it will never be RuPaul's Drag Race, honey. Never. And we got fat asses on Drag Race. Okay, hot take. On my season 8 of RuPaul's Drag Race, I believe that if Kim Chi was ever in the bottom, and she may have deserved it once or twice, I think she would have went home. I don't think Kim could have survived a lip sync. I really don't. Now, mind you, I love Kim. Kim is an icon. Kim is a makeup mogul. Kim is a diva. She's an icon. She's a legend, and she's the moment. Now, come on now. Okay, hot take. I think that King Tyra, as he goes by now, who is the winner of season 2 of RuPaul's Drag Race, I think that his behavior is truly a product of the fandom of RuPaul's Drag Race. I'm not saying that what King Tyra did is okay, or James. I don't know what he's going by these days. I think he's going by King Tyra. I'm not saying, because I remember the veiled bomb threat for DragCon, the coming for Jiggly Caliente after she passed away, the posting Morgan McMichaels as if she was dead, posting for Monet as if she was dead. I'm not saying any of that is okay, but I do think that when you are relentlessly attacked by the fans in the way that Tyra was, because I feel like it started out being like, oh, Raven should have won Drag Race, and that was the bullying, and then it became a whole different thing, because I gotta tell y'all, Drag Race fandom, y'all are racist. Like, y'all are crazy at the stuff y'all be saying to the black girls, and I can't even imagine what you're saying to the Asian girls and the Latino girls, but the stuff y'all are saying to the, I am one of the black girls. Those DMs are insane. Like, the stuff y'all feel comfortable saying is very much giving Nicki Minaj at the Turning Points USA. Y'all might as well be on stage holding hands with Erica Kirk at this point. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to think about like what it would feel like to be in her shoes, having your win discredited. Because I actually do think she deserved to win her season. I genuinely do. I thought she did a really good job. She was wearing like custom clothes at a time where these girls were literally wearing clothes from the mall. She was like eating the girlies up, and then all the fans were coming after her. But that being said, like her reaction to the things is like, it's out there. You know what I mean? I think she does a lot of stuff. Like when someone passes away, she was talking about the Vivian when she passed away. That stuff is wild. And I mean, I can't even begin to imagine why she's acting out in that way, because a lot of people get attacked by the fandom. I mean, we're not all friends, but a lot of us are friends, and we talk about what the fans do to us. But the difference is the rest of us don't threaten to blow up DragCon. Everyone says when you go on Drag Race, they're like, you know what you're getting yourself into, or you don't. You actually don't. Like you all think that like you know what you're getting yourself into, but there's nothing that prepares you. All they do is give you a psyche eval that promises that you won't hurt yourself or someone else. And I'm not convinced all these queens are actually passing. I'm convinced that the psyche eval is make sure you're crazy, just not dangerous. Because ain't no way look at all the queens on your TV. You think all these queens pass the psyche eval? All these queens. I'm not gonna name them. You know what I'm talking about. You think she passed the psyche eval? You think she passed a psyche eval? Well, I did not choose these queens. This is not a controversial take, but Sharon Needles was actually the villain of season 4. Jeremy Carey, who formerly known as Fifi O'Hara, who has since quit drag. I don't even know what he's up to these days, to be honest. But like, this is a person of color going up against this like white alt queen, right? So her like things like, I'm weird, no one gets me, but she's crushing the competition. Also, my other controversial take, season 4 is the best season of RuPaul's Drag Race of the regular season. It's neck and neck with All Stars 2. Because All Stars 2 was, oh my God, Jeremy Carey is the common denominator. Like if you put this guy on your show, it's gonna be a brilliant show. I mean, he's just so entertaining, but he's pictured as the villain of the season. But then the rest of us found out off camera is Sharon. Like she is the villain. Like I don't have a lot of queens that I refuse to work with. I'm trying to think of anyone besides Sharon that I just like literally refuse to work with. Sharon's like the one queen I'm like, I won't work with this queen. I did a tour with her, a Christmas tour. So one time we were on the bus and we were in like Amsterdam. It was a European tour. We were on one of those double-decker buses. And we get down and then Sharon's like outside the bus with like she's coming off the bus with fans. The bus where no one's supposed to be besides us. And she's coming off the bus with these fans. And we're like, is she smoking a cigarette? She would smoke on the bus, mind you, in the bathroom or down to, because she would get like blackout drunk and just smoke cigarettes. It was insane. So she's coming off the bus, smoking cigarettes, and she's going on about something. She's probably wasted. And then later on, we get her back on the bus, and then it's like, we're driving across country lines. We're literally crossing borders, right? And when you do that, you have to wake up at like 5 a.m., 4 a.m. to hand your passports off, and you sit in the immigration office, and then they check your bus to make sure you're not smuggling people or drugs or, I don't know, whatever you can't take in these countries. But on one of these long rides, it was like 4 a.m. and we hear this like controversy downstairs, like, get out here, queen. And we're like waking up out of our bunks and we're like, what's going on? So this guy named Kenny is like, I call him Kenny Monsoon. Kenny's from the Jinx Monsoon family, but Jinx introduced him back into the Drag Race world. He toured with Bianca, he toured with Work the World, he toured with Christmas Queens. I don't know what he's up to these days. I should call Kenny. Anyway, so Kenny was like the Sharon whisperer, right? He goes downstairs, she's waking up every single person. And she's like, get down here, queen. We don't know who she's talking to. And Kenny's like, girl, you need to go to sleep. And I think she starts like roughhousing him. I was upstairs. I just heard like, I think they're like fighting. I don't know. I don't want to say they were fighting, but there was roughhousing going on. And I don't know how he got her to like chill out or go back to bed or something. But like, it was like stuff like that, like all the time. And she's incredibly racist. I remember years ago, she would come down to New York City to do shows pre-Drag Race, but then she got on Drag Race. And she was like at the Ritz for this show called Saliva Tuesdays at the Ritz, which was actually on Wednesday morning, because the show started like Wednesday morning, like 1 a.m. But we called it Saliva Tuesdays. And she was going on this like long rant against RuPaul. She was like, I don't need some black man in a blonde wig to validate my drag. And we're all like, okay. So we're outside and she looks at this queen named Kiki Darling. And she looks at Kiki and she goes, do you have a cigarette? And then Kiki goes, yeah, I have a cigarette. And then she goes, are they nigger cigarettes? I didn't see that, I just heard the story. And then Kiki was like, what? And she goes, are they menthols? Are they nigger cigarettes? It took her so aback that we're like, what? And then she went and she was like, this just happened. We're like, whoa, that's crazy. So we're looking at the host being like, what's up with your friend? Like, what's going on with your friend? So then we used to always go to the diner after every show. Went to the diner. We're at the diner and Sharon is 3 sheets to the wind. You know when you're drunk, that like wet mouth drunk, where you're like looking at nothing? We're at the diner just like, you know, cutting up and kikiing and whatnot. At some point, Sharon just goes, and then all of us were like, what? And then we're like, no, what did you just say? What the f did you just say? And then she gets up and like stumbles out of the diner. It was a diner called, was it Cosmo? I can't remember. It's right across, it's at 46 and 9, this diner. We used to go to this diner every time after the Ritz. So every like Wednesday morning, like 4 a.m., we were all at this diner. It was insane. That is what it's like to be around Sharon Needles. That's the Sharon Needles experience. So I can't even imagine what she's saying on set. But she's also incredibly smart. So she has a way of like charming people and like manipulating the story, but also being earnest. So what you see on TV is this like vulnerable, sad outsider. But the truth is she's making herself an outsider. Like she is trying to engage in counterculture that has nothing to do with her. So she's like, I'm taking a sting out of the N-word, but it's like, it's not your job to do. Who are you to take the sting out of the N-word? Why don't you, first of all, you can't take this. That's like saying you're gonna take the bite out of vinegar. Vinegar has bite. It is what it is. That's what vinegar does. You know what I mean? But yeah, that girl's nuts. Like I'm telling y'all, something ain't right about that girl. Something ain't right. I actually think these big drag race tours, like Work the World and the Christmas tours and War on the Catwalk, which by the way, I've done those tours. I think it's actually like destroying the drag scene. Now, I don't mean like Trixie and Katya on tour, or Bianca doing a tour, because this is like one queen doing a show in a theater. But when I was first on RuPaul's Drag Race, my God, we would do like, all of us, not just me, by the way, a lot of us would do like 10 or more club gigs a month. I mean, just for the year that you were on Drag Race. But we go to all these clubs, we could pay pretty decent money, anywhere from like, I mean, I guess I'll say numbers. This was like 10 years ago. You could be paid like $5,000 to $10,000 for a club night, and the club would make that money back because they would sell these meet and greet tickets, but they would sell tickets for like $20, $30 a ticket, and you could see your favorite drag queen and get a meet and greet, and you do, 3 or 4 numbers. costume changes stuff throughout the night, but then you have these massive tours coming through where you can pay $10 more, and instead of seeing one queen, now you're seeing 5 of your favorite queens, and you're getting a meet and greet, and they're selling merchandise. So like the drag scene, and it's not just for drag race girls, it's for local girls too. Like I've done local drag post Drag Race, but it wasn't really after these big tours. Like Work the World started like the year after I did Drag Race or the year of. So I never was a local girl post Work the World. I just don't know what's going on with the local drag scene anymore. I mean, I'm also so disconnected from the local drag scene. Girl, I went to New York City. I would go into the local scene and it would be like, in New York City, I knew everyone. Like I knew every queen in the city. And now I go back and they're acting like I'm this old bitch. They'll be like, oh my God, Bob the drag queen. Like, because these are people the people doing drag in New York City now are people who know me from TV. They don't know me from the clubs. There's a few, Keisha Carr, Jasmine Rice. There are a couple of queens in New York City who still know me because we were doing drag together who are not from RuPaul's Drag Race. But a lot of these queens, I don't know who they are. I don't have like this connection like I used to have. So in full disclosure, I'm not super connected to the local drag scenes anymore. I am like a theater act or a comedy club act, so I don't do a lot of local drag shows anymore. And I don't live in New York City. I haven't lived in New York City for 5 years. And I haven't been a local New York City girl since 2015 or 2016 when the show aired. So take it with a grain of salt, quite frankly, because I don't really know what it's like to be a local girl anymore. But there's something about the commodification of drag because, I mean, look who's talking. I'm literally, trying to sell you tickets. Come and see my show. But I don't do the big tours anymore. And well, one, I stopped getting invited. I haven't been invited in a long time, which is fine. I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine by myself. So now it's just either me and Monet or just me by myself somewhere. And I don't think I have another Work the World in me. But there were some fun stories. I remember one of my favorite stories in Work the World of all time is like Valentina and Bella Chachki were so late. They were like so late all the time. Like it was a huge issue to the point where me and Latrice Royale were like, we are not gonna get dressed until they start getting dressed. We had all of our makeup on. It was me, Acid Betty, and Latrice Royale. We were in Canada. And we looked at each other and we all said, we're not gonna start getting dressed until they get dressed. Because we're not gonna wait around. We're not gonna do it in our courses and stuff. So we had to have this big meeting. It blew up because like the producers were like, get dressed. And we were like, no, we're not getting dressed. What are you gonna do, make us get dressed? No, we're not getting dressed. And they're like, well, there's a line. I'm like, well, we're not gonna be able to go until they're ready. So like, why? And then they called this big meeting and they pulled Valentina into the room and Violet touched in the room. They were like, you're always late. And Violet was like, okay, I'll work on it. And Valentina she says, do you want me to feel bad because I'm late? I'm late every day. Do you want me to feel bad every day? And honestly, she ate. Like, I don't even know what to say to that. Like, we were all like, I don't even know how to respond to that. We're like, we want you to be on time. We want you downstairs when we're downstairs. But I love that girl. I had so many fun moments on Work the World and so many crazy moments, the arguments, the fights I would get into. Shocker, Bob's fighting someone. I mean, me and Alaska got into fights. Me and Jinx got into fights. Me and, I did other tours where I would like fight with the producers. There was a tour in the UK called Club Kids. And I got in this huge fight with the guy who produced Club Kids because my rider is so simple. I don't drink. I don't want drugs. I don't need specific food. My rider said I need black towels, makeup wipes, throat coat tea, 4 bananas, and a protein shake. Now that is a pretty simple rider. I'm telling y'all, that is a very, very simple rider. So I come backstage, I'm tired. I'm hosting the show. We're doing our thing. I get backstage, baby, I have 1 banana. And there's a smoothie, not a protein shake. Am I a diva? There's a smoothie. I'm hungry. Guys, we have been traveling. I haven't had time to eat. I'm hungry. Thorgy's eating my banana. Everyone's eating my banana. They put it on the table, everyone's stuff, so everyone thinks they're just bananas. Thorgy's eating my bananas. I go up to the guy and said, listen, I need you to find a way to not have people eat my banana. This is crazy. Like, Because other girls are getting like, I need like Nando's and a wing roulette with this flavor. Their whole order's there, perfectly with their name on it. No one else's food but mine. So I go to this guy and I'm like, listen, I need to make sure that my food is prepared for when I get off stage. One time, not a big deal. It's the second time, I lose my shit. I'm like screaming at this man because I'm so tired. I'm so hungry. There's another time in Canada. It was me, DJ Two-Face, who's like 6'6", by the way, 4 dancers, Monet, Kennedy, and Patrick. This is 9 fully grown adults. 4 of them are like fit ass dancers who, they eat all the time. These fit people, I don't even know this, fit people eat nonstop. Me and Monet are both grown ass men who like to eat. Two-Face is 6'6". Obviously he needs food. And then I go to the promoter and I say, listen, we need some food. And then he goes, okay, girl, he goes to McDonald's. He buys 4 extra large fries and a bottle of vodka. I said, baby, I need the room. I need the room. I was like, I told the dancers, I told Kennedy, I told Patrick, I said, y'all get out of here, y'all go. I need to talk to this man. Me and Monet, just this man. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I was like screaming. I remember screaming so loud, like that, like my vision was blurry. And Monet was like, Bob. And I was like, we are hungry. I was like screaming at this man. I was like, we need food. Like, it is your job to give us food. Like, we signed a contract and your part of the contract says that you provide the food. And this is not an appropriate amount of food. So was I hangry? Yeah, I might've been a little hangry. That's a possibility. But I honestly don't think I was wrong. Comment below. Let's ask the audience.
I got to pay for that?
I mean, let me ask the audience.
4 large fries and some vodka. And I don't even drink. Oh, I'm getting mad all over again. I'm like hot right now thinking about this guy. Hot take, Gottmik is actually the comedy queen of season 13. If you go back and listen to the jokes she's telling, the interactions she's having, the way she's making people laugh, her snatch game, her improv, and then there was this competition going on between like Tina Burner and Rose to see who's the comedy queen. But in fact, it was actually Gottmik. But I feel like people label Gottmik as like fashion girl because her looks are amazing. Her makeup is stunning. I feel like people discredit her because she is so stunning and her makeup is just so over the top and her looks are so extreme. But she actually is the funniest queen from the season. And I don't think it was one of those like, because Aquaria won Snatch Game and that was kind of like a not an oopsie days, but it was like, wow, she's funny too. But Gottmik kind of always presented herself as a funny person. Even in my, like, we did a podcast, she filled in for Monet one time on, we did a No Gorge. They're supposed to do a Yes Rivalry, or No Gorge. No Rivalry, Yes, wait. Sibling Rivalry, No Gorge. So it's No Rivalry, Yes Sibling? No, wait, there's no yes. No Gorge, Sibling Rivalry. So it's No Rivalry and Sibling Gorgery. Jesus, I got a nosebleed. Trying to do that mental gymnastics. But yeah, so like if you ever look at any of her interactions in her interviews in her podcast, Gottmik is actually quite hilarious. And I think her verse was the best verse on the finale. Like her verse, because I love Candy, that verse was, yo, the muse is back. Tough-phobic on the track. You hoes better watch your back. That was not a good, and Simone's verse had like 3 lines in it. She's like, you wanna be, oh, I'm the mother honey. I mean, she deserved to win. I do think that Simone deserved to win her season. But Mick kind of ate the finale up. Am I crazy? But I do think Simone deserved to win. I don't know, it's complicated. I'm so glad I don't have to judge. There's always conversations like who would judge Drag Race? Who would host Drag Race if RuPaul left? Yo, I don't think they would ever call me. I don't even get asked to do the tours. I haven't been to Vegas. You think they're about to let me host the show? I'm too powerful. I will say, another hot take, y'all need to get some queens over 50 on the show. Like, I think that, hot take, I honestly think that Jackie Beat would probably be one of the best things ever happened to Drag Race. I mean, I think she's a monster. And everyone knows this. Like, Jackie Beat is like a known monster. Even she knows she's a monster. But if y'all don't, like the TV she would make, imagine Jackie Beat on the same season as Sugar and Spice. I want you to imagine a 60-something-year-old drag queen on the same season as a 21-year-old twin twink. Imagine Varla Jean Merman, Sherry Vine, Jackie Beat, Flotilla DeBarge, Peaches Christ, Sister Roma. I mean, just imagine these queens on RuPaul's Drag Race and how iconic it would be. Coco Peru. Oh. And I don't want a senior season. I want them with the young girls. Would I be an old girl? Oh my God, I'd be an old girl. Y'all, there was a call one time with this when I won my season, and she was like, "What's it like being one of the oldest queens from her season?" I was like, I'm not. She goes, "No, you are you've been doing drag for like the longest." I haven't. Also not true. I was 29 years old on Drag Race. The only people younger than me were Kim, Naomi, and Layla. Everyone else was older than me. I was in the lower half. And this like, what's it like being one of the older queens from the season? I was like, this is crazy. But now, I mean, I'm 39, almost 40. I'm closer to 40 than I am to 39 at this point. So yes, now I would be an older queen if I was brought back or if I was brought on. The queens who come back are generally a little aged. I'm not gonna lie, but I thought they've used up a lot of the queens from previous seasons. That's why All Stars has all the girls who come back. Like they basically leave set and then come right back and do All Stars again. Lydia B. Collins. All right, listen, y'all. Thank you so much for watching the video today. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Are you already subscribed to the channel? No? Here's your opportunity. And please turn on that notification bell.